Ow! That was not the plan, man. Hit the turtles. Hello, guys. Hello, guys. What are we doing? Are we torturing turtles here? Torturing turtles here? No, we're not. Okay, okay, we're good. We're good. Let me throw one. Let me throw one. Yes, here, another bowl. So there we go, guys. This is Doc and Method's compulsory turtle tutorial. We spent a few days, and I'm here with Method Thai Man.
Heyo.
We were looking into the code together with Nembon, everything turtle knowledge available right now. We want to drop the knowledge bomb on you today, give you all the info. And yeah, maybe something you didn't know already, we showed you right here in the beginning. The turtles drop seaweed. That is their regular drops, the grown-up turtles. If you'd kill them with a looting 3 sword, you can get up to 4 of these seaweed. Normally they would drop 0 to 2, but also they have a quote-unquote secret drop in a sense. It's more of a gimmick, a more fun drop, not really useful. But if you actually channel lightning hit them, they will drop a bowl. They have a chance to drop a bowl. I didn't know that. We found that out in our research. And yeah, to start it off, I would say we talk about our turtle friends here a little bit. The turtles have all kinds of cool, knowledge to them, and they are quite realistic actually if you think about real life turtles. So first of all, how do turtles come to the world? Well, that's not realistic, but in Minecraft at least, they don't naturally spawn. You cannot respawn them, like fish or other mobs. They get generated when the world is created. So they are there and spawn at certain places. And it's warm beaches where they spawn, so also kind of realistic. And yeah, these home beaches are then considered their origin, their home place. And yeah, let's say we will have a beach here, and this is where a turtle was spawned in the world by the game. So there is a way to move this spawn point. If you find a turtle egg in the world, or if you breed some turtles, and we will talk about their breeding behavior in a bit, you will find turtle eggs, and yeah, you can silk touch these. I use the silk touch pickaxe now. And with that silk touch pickaxe, we can actually move spawn places around. So now if I go to creative mode and fly up here real quick, you can see this cross reshaped out here, right? This is a breeding home or a breeding origin for turtles. So if the game spawns a turtle right here in the middle, let's say, in a radius of 9 blocks out, and if there is sand blocks available, it doesn't have to be beach, a turtle will be able to breed. So if we have 2 turtles here, and we defined their home beach right there with 2 turtle eggs, and we breed them, they will start breeding somewhere around this beach area, they think, or the sand pretty much. And yeah, these origins are strongly rooted within turtles. Turtles, actually, if you have 2 random turtles and you find them somewhere in the ocean and you would feed them seaweed to make them breed, they would actually, crazy as it sounds, track their home beach for up to 10,000 blocks, which is crazy. So it can be a long journey if you find a random turtle, and just go ahead and breed her. This one I spawned in right here, you remember? So now she's kind of looking for her home place. This is my home, and now she would track in this radius of 9 blocks, and maybe we get lucky, eventually she'll crawl over here and lay an egg up on the beach. Method is trying to mess with
Helping
her.
out with the luck a bit.
Yeah. So she theoretically would be able on the sand to lay eggs. Sometimes it can take a while, so they are slow. It's turtles, right? So yeah, and as I told you, only within this 9 block radius. So of course, as you saw, you need seaweed to breed them. You find that plenty in the oceans. You need a shear to cut it down, but it's all over, so you should have no problem to get it. In general, the turtles can be moved by various means. Of course, you can use, as in any breeding, seaweed, hold it in front of their noses, and they should track and follow you. While you're breeding them, though, you should feed them and then put your seaweed away, because as these turtles are so slow in looking for their breeding space, you'd rather don't lure him and confuse him with the seaweed out. But also, of course, you can stick him in a boat like any other entity like this, and paddle about. This is a funny sight, how it looks with the turtle in the back. Or, of course, you can trap him in minecarts like you do with other mobs as well. Have the minecart moving on tracks and have the turtle close by. A bit more tricky to catch him in minecarts, but you can catch him in the open seas with the boats and whatnot and move him about. But in general, it is not really so useful to catch free roaming turtles and try to make him, into breeding turtles for your farms and so, because as I said, they're bound to their home beach. So the trick is always go out, find the turtles. You cannot leash him up or anything like that. That would be the easiest trick, but it doesn't work with turtles. So yeah, go out, find a natural turtle spawn where you see 1 or 2 turtles sitting on a beach, grab some seaweed, breed them up, have a silk touch pickaxe, grab the eggs and, give them a new home, and then you can do breeding setups. So we did plenty of experiments with that, and of course other Minecrafters and YouTubers did too and shared designs and ideas. We are not here to really show you the ultimate design, although we have a pretty good one, I think, over there for mass production, but just some theory. So here we have 2 of the turtles trapped in minecarts sitting 1 block above a valid spawning space for eggs, which is the sand, and yeah, we can breed them sitting in the minecarts, hovering a block above where they can actually breed. The breeding sometimes for them, to find a suitable spot takes some time, and yeah, we can keep on going through the line here, breed a few more turtles up, and feed them, and eventually they would lay eggs, and yeah, by breeding them more now, we will increase the chances to actually see it happening on video. We got a pair of eggs over there, or a stack of eggs. It's also interesting, the eggs are placed randomly by the turtles. It can be 1, 2, 3, up to 4 eggs, and these eggs go through different growth stages and they will occur at night. So you have to chill out in the nights and hope for the turtle eggs to have different growth stages. Here, if you look at the top right, it shows you this stack contains 4 eggs. That means up to 4 turtles will be able to spawn. But here they laid an egg over there. We just saw it happening. But the hatch rate of these eggs is 0. That means that is the very first growth stage. It will go from 0 to 3. And when they reach 3, the turtle babies will actually hatch. And yeah, here we have a growth stage hatch 2. So maybe in the next night we would see turtle babies coming out of these eggs. But yeah, there you can see it. Eggs are being laid everywhere. So now, as we did some testing with turtles, we could recognize a very interesting behavior. And it is actually a good way to be demonstrated with a setup like that. So let's breed the turtles. And you could just see the left turtle there had a cooldown. It was not willing to breed, but the right turtle did it. So why is that so? We had egg laying, and normally if you breed animals, they will both have a cooldown. With turtles though, it is quite different. We have these 2 turtles freshly spawned into the world. I breed them both. So now 1 turtle will decide to lay eggs. In this case, it was our turtle friend here on the left side, and now they're digging about and he's looking for a place to drop the eggs. There we go. So now normally both turtles would be in cooldown, but look at that. Now the left one that actually laid the eggs is in cooldown, but the right side turtle is not, although both were engaged in the breeding. So that means the second turtle is ready to breed again. And look at that, although this one was in cooldown, I just gave seaweed to the right one again. She will look for another spot and eventually she will lay eggs. That makes, breeding turtles quite efficient actually. You don't need so many breeding turtles. You can always double breed them. So every pair of turtle will give you 2 stacks of eggs, which can vary in a range of 1 to 4 baby turtles to spawn. So, looks like you can at least double, that is your absolute worst case scenario, your turtle population with every breeding cycle. So, of course, there is different drops to the turtles. Aside of the seaweed and the bowls we showed you, you could, for example, also use a setup like this. I've seen that on YouTube by plenty of YouTubers and Minecrafters, kind of trapping the turtles in various ways and then, encouraging to breed them like this. And just go through. Eventually they pop down some eggs, as you see down there under the turtles. And yeah, a setup like that, if you give them sand and these gaps, will be good enough that baby turtles actually, when they hatch, can fall through and they will end up in these hatches down there where they chill about in the trenches pretty much. And when they grow up, as the trench is only 1 block wide, their hitbox is bigger. We can look at it with F3 and B, so we can see, you know, they got a pretty big hitbox. It's definitely wider than a block, and when they're in there and grow up, they will suffocate automatically. Here we go, feed them some seaweed, and then they grow up, and as you see, they die. And yeah, you will eventually get some seaweed back. Ideally though, you want to harvest them with looting, because yeah, we will show you some simple math in a second. You can make even a profit of seaweed. When baby turtles grow up, they drop this. This is the item, the scoot. This is used to make the cool diving helmet and also for some cool potion brewing effects. So yeah, this is how you would do this. So talking about quick math, don't worry, we don't want to bore you, but it's quite simple. If you use looting 3 on turtles, big turtles, and kill them, you can get up to 4 seaweed. One turtle can lay up to 4 eggs. So you can breed one turtle with a seaweed 4 times, which can lay up to 4 eggs. We will always give you up to 4 seaweed back. So you see where this goes. You will need way less seaweed to actually breed a bigger farm that you can produce by killing turtles with looting 3. And amongst several experiments we did, we can stack turtle eggs, for example, like this. It works in survival. Could be interesting. Of course, those eggs will be trampled, right? Of course, zombies or zombie-like mobs, drowns, and so on, pigmen will track these turtle eggs. They will try to trample them and stomp on them. So that is also a very good trick why you want to silk touch these eggs and have zombies and bad guys about. You know, you can use it in farms to attract mobs and so on. So the turtle eggs are a really good item. They have a nice hitbox and so on. Yeah, and we did all kinds of experiments with them. You know, this is, for example, one of the earlier ideas we had. Just, you know, always have pairs of turtles in there and then give them as many breeding options as possible. Because what a turtle does is, you look at a cross shape. If a turtle is, you know, engaged to breed right here, if you tell the turtle go breed, so she would sit right here, all these blocks would be a possible breeding spot. So if she decides, okay, this is my target, she could lay eggs here, here, here. 4 adjacent blocks, not the diagonals, but of course if she would crawl over here. So yeah, you could stagger it nicely. And that is kind of what we tried here a little bit, give them as plenty as you know, egg laying options as possible. And then eventually the baby turtles would hatch, fall down, and you lure them in a little hole like this by standing there with your seaweed in your hand. You know, this is all prototypes. Then you can later probably loot them. So Method made this then. This is a cool farm, and maybe Method, you can explain the idea behind this setup here a little bit.
Of course.
I'll go
So
up in the sky. Okay.
I will just go into survival mode as well. Second. Game mode. You will just start breeding here. You just hold right click and the seaweed. Breed them all up. You continue. This is already too big, by the way. You could go smaller. Don't need this many turtles.
Yep. Nice trick here we used. That is a trick also found by Methods. You can make floating water, and that's a nice way to make nice lamps here. Just a little side gimmick. I did a video showing you the trick you'd use to make these with pistons, but beware, as we expected in the latest snapshot for 13.1.
No longer works.
It no longer works. I told you, do it in 13.0.
So now we've bred all the turtles. We've already
Yeah.
gotten eggs, and my idea was now, since they can only the eggs can only hatch at night anyway.
Yeah.
We might as well sit here and mine up those eggs
Yeah.
to free up the breeding spots again.
Yes. Exactly. So it's interesting, if you silk touch them, you can see it's
Most of
like
the time.
you always get one after the other. So if there's a bigger stack like this, right, you could also say, okay, I'm only gonna mine 2 of them and then, you know, let it hatch. So, you know, there's options how to harvest, but you
The
can
thing
get
is,
them all.
the sole reason for harvesting it immediately is basically we can breed again already.
Yeah, exactly. So that's with the short cooldown as well for the turtles. I think Mojang tried to balance out the relatively long time it takes for a turtle to do the breeding, and also the difficulties you might have in first breeding turtles. You have to find them and all, right? They might want to have made it a bit too easy, because at this stage you got turtle eggs with a silk touch pickaxe. You can do good stuff. As you can see, Method is getting a ton of eggs out of this.
I'm already over 20 eggs.
Yeah. And then the next stage would simply be, as you can see, Method has a little egg garden going on here on the outskirts of the farm. So you pretty much just, plant your eggs down again and, keep on
Wait for them to hatch.
farming.
Keep on
And then,
breeding.
whatever you do from here, you can still just have it fenced like that and then just manually go around. You could have minecarts running under the system so you don't miss any. You could lure them somewhere, trap them,
You could
whatever,
have 2 more
manually.
blocks of gap here and lure them
Yeah.
into like a trapdoor gap or a trick.
There is plenty of ideas. It's not always, we don't always want to give you this, okay, this is the perfect way to do it. Let your imagination also figure out your own stuff. It's a new update, it's a new world to explore. Everybody's input is welcome. This is just suggestions, some knowledge, some tricks we found out that might help you on the way to figure out some cool stuff. But I like this farm design by Method because it is a nice way,
I thought about it a long time, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure as long as you do this manually and you're not building a fully AFK farm, this is the way to go.
Yeah, it's pretty
Because
neat.
the turtle hatching is what takes long. The breeding is super fast. You just
Yeah.
want to make sure you free up the spots for them to breed again,
Yeah,
which you do by just silk touching the eggs,
yeah.
and then you just place them here.
Yeah, I think
whatever.
if you want to go for maximizing output, think of systems to either move the turtles over new spots of sand, would also be an option here. If you think about minecarts, you can always think about, hey, okay, let's do it like that. We build literal breeding cells where we move pairs of turtles to new sand spots, right? Like that. You could do that. It's not as efficient as this probably, but it would be a fun project. So as I said, plenty of room, for improvement, for ideas. It's all just fresh. I think this is all we know about turtles so far. I don't think we forgot anything, but if we did and you still have questions, guys, make sure to put them down into the comments. I will read through them. If Method has some time, he will do that too. He did in the past and replied to questions people had. You can also always come to the SciCraft Discord. Just check out one of El Mango's videos. You'll find information how to get on there. There's a lot of tech players that hang out. If you have specific questions, you might get lucky and the mighty Method might speak to you himself.
Oh, for sure. I always answer proper questions.
Exactly. Don't bother them with stupid stuff, when you say proper questions. So yeah, this is our idea about turtle farming. Let me know if you liked the video. Let me know if you think it's useful. Most of the stuff also was discovered while playing the Hermitcraft season right now. Check it out if you're interested in some fun, Hermitcraft Let's Play. Having a good time there right now with all the new stuff. So yeah, see you in the next episode. We are out. Bye. And yeah, thanks Method Man.
Bye bye. No problem.
Bye.